Welcome to the Speak Your Success podcast. Family, we are back once again, and I'm your host, serial entrepreneur, best-selling author, and TEDx speaker, Jonathan Jones. And today we're here for another episode of the Speak Your Success podcast. And here at the Speak Your Success podcast, specifically, we provide you with inspiration, we provide you with motivation, and even outside of that, we have to give you application, because if you have no application, then how will you be able to take tangible steps to get further in your life? So today, the topic of the episode is say less, but sacrifice more. I began to think back to a time in my life where, first of all, I tried out for the basketball team. And I specifically tried for the basketball team because, I'm 6'5", I wanted to hoop, I wanted to make it, and ultimately, I wanted to be on the team. I wanted to be associated with the team because my high school was very prestigious. And understanding that in order for me to make the team, there was a level of sacrifice that had to come forward. I had to begin to work out in the summers, running up Powers Ferry Road in Atlanta, Georgia, holding a medicine ball, running down Powers Ferry Road in Georgia, holding on to a weighted stick. I also then had to realize that when I decided I wanted to play football, that wait a minute, John, you have to put forth a level of sacrifice there as well. So then I had to begin to sacrifice my body on that field, trying to tackle these guys who were bigger than me. And also I had to get it in the weight room in order for me to get to my next level, in order for me to get to my next stage, in order for me to fight for a spot to be on the depth chart on that football team. So, friends, I only want to bring up those two stories because with it being NFL draft week, training day, draft day, let's get it. I began to think and get excited because reflecting and seeing how drafts have happened in the past, I always enjoy how they show those stories of those individuals who have fought so hard in college. Those stories, the celebratory stories of showing people who have struggled throughout their lives, and then they've received college scholarships, and now they're in a position to put their family on. And when I say put their family on, I'm talking about now they can provide for their family. Now they can buy mom that big house. Now they can buy dad that car that they promised him. The cool thing about it is, that's why I say less, because I realized throughout my life, sometimes there comes a point in time where I have to know when to speak and I have to know when to be quiet. I don't know who else listening to the podcast might be a victim of their own circumstances at times, but it can be easy to celebrate something that has not come to fruition yet. It can be so easy to tell everybody what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, and then you get so worked up and you get so excited, but ultimately you realize that you haven't done anything just yet. Friends, today I want to encourage us to say less, but sacrifice more. And once again, when I say less, we have to know when to shut our mouths. It's not always the time to tell everybody what we're about to do, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. However, it's time for us to sacrifice more. And when I say that, it's time to put in the work. And then when it comes to be draft day for your dream, and then when it comes to be the time and the place for the work that you have done, for those seeds that have been cultivated, for the ground that you have tilled, and for the land that you have plowed for your life, and then people see the harvest, that's when you can begin to speak. That's when all the sacrifices that you put into yourself and that you have planted into your life and that you've put in other people's lives and the work that you have put forward, now you can see it manifest because you didn't talk it away. Because the Bible tells us the power of life and death is in your tongue. And I'm challenging us today to understand that if we don't say anything, then we can't be attacked. Okay, if we don't say anything and vocalize all these things that we're going to do and when this is going to happen and how this is going to happen, then ultimately we don't have to be challenged to the highest level that we would be if we didn't speak too soon. So friends, today I have a few questions that I want to ask you. The first thing is, are you willing to give up what you are for what you're wanting to become? Because I had to understand that in football, if I didn't begin to sacrifice my body, if I didn't get into the weight room, if I didn't do the crunches, if I didn't work out in the off season, what I was somebody who wanted to be on the team. What I became was an individual who was on the team and I was fighting for a spot ultimately. So if you're not willing to sacrifice, you're not willing to give up what you are for what you're wanting to become, then you have to look in the mirror today and you have to realize where you're at in your life. Is that where you want to be for the rest of your life? Or do you want to become something greater? Do you want to become that caterpillar blossoming into that butterfly? Let me move on because I don't feel like preaching right now. Hello, somebody. Number 2, I want to ask you, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up right now? Are you willing to give up going to the mall and getting extra outfits? Are you willing to give up charging stuff on a credit card so ultimately you can begin to pay debt away and so you can begin be freed up and have that financial freedom? What are you willing to sacrifice? And then lastly, I just want to ask you, when are you willing to take action? Because I've realized in my personal life, it's so easy to say all these things and then prolong them and then procrastinate, and then eventually we don't feel like doing anything in the first place. So, when are you willing to take action is the last question I want you to reflect on today, friends. Once again, this is serial entrepreneur, best-selling author and TEDx speaker Jonathan Jones. We would encourage you, if you feel the podcast has been adding value to your life, we would encourage you to take just a quick moment and leave us a helpful Apple review. Just go on to Apple Podcasts, scroll down to the bottom, click write a review, give us 5 stars, and say what you love about the show. We greatly appreciate your reviews, and we will be doing a review of the week on Friday. In addition to that, also, we will be attacking those questions that you asked this Friday. The episode of the title was going to be 21 questions, but y'all asked about 28. So we're going to get you even more than that. We're going to get you 21 questions plus 7. And without further ado, friends, we're going to go ahead and sign out. TEDx speaker and best-selling author Jonathan Jones reminding you to speak your success, believe in your greatness, and continue to create the life and business of your dreams. Why would you want to live any other way?